Hello, hello. Okay, first and foremost, he's gonna start playing. Don't even hear it anymore. No more intros. Just play. No one's here anyway. So first on my list, that is gonna play the name again. I just found random games on itch.io. I didn't really think much about it. Just choose whatever's convenient and free to download. So I don't know about this game. I don't know. I just did not research or anything. Anything. I just gonna just play it. I'm just gonna play it. Okay. Maybe I should turn off the music. I don't think it matched. It matches the game we are going to play. I think it's a bit of in a serious tone. Don't know. I'm not sure. Well, based on the screen, you can see. It might be a little serious. Wait, hold on. Right back. I'm back. Okay, let's continue what we're doing. Let's continue. What are you doing again? Okay, there. Let's start. There's no audio. I don't know what to do, so let's just press start. This is a sorry, but I can't stay here. I think I'm going crazy. Calm down. I calm down. If you can just talk it out. So many strange things keep happening after another. Every day there's this dripping sound. I thought just something. It was just something leaking at first. Check every faucet, every ceiling, every pipeline, and still, like everywhere, constantly echoing in my ears. But the water, find random pools of water just appears out of nowhere, like the dripping. Night, it comes. I don't know if it's my paranoia, but I swear I could hear footsteps walking on water. And upstairs and down. On and on and on and on like that. Somehow, this come to an end. And front of your grandfather's room. I know that this is a lot. Have to believe me. No matter how many times I clean, just won't end. Can't stay here any longer. Sorry, Nina. It's okay. For everything. Like, I mean, thank you for the Nina. Please listen to me. Don't know what's happening around here, but the woman in the phone constantly looks around before speaking. Terrible is terrible. House. But you know what it is? As soon as you get back, care of your grandfather. You just my home. Nina, please, it's not safe. I don't know what you saw. I get things like this. My home. My home. Diner. Mid a foggy morning, there sits a man at the corner. He drinks black coffee, standing on his mood. Today, it was black coffee. Ugh. Uh, never has seen that amount of work in my life. Mountain, a valuable, valuable member of our team. Starting to believe I was bamboozled into joining this their a ah Laurent 30 takes a good look at his cup of chugs it all, then continues to grumble to himself. Last night's group need to find a different job. As he contemplates poor life choices, he looks out towards the earth. Something inherently terrifying about the fog to him, how it engulfs everything and nothing. Even if it disappears, proof of its remaining. Even in a even in a quaint town like this, I can't even run from my fate again. Yugo finally stares at the compiled newspaper clipping. Some of them from recent events. All were past head. Missing person. Change the stream title. Hold on. Gonna I'm back. Sorry for the thing. I'm just gonna cut it post. So, no matter how many times I see this, still just as hard to look at. Fixating case after case. Can't help but remind himself that there is a reason for all this. All too personal reason. Strange things come with a price. And sounds rough. Mind if I join? An annoyingly familiar voice interrupts his thought. Slowly looks up to see the one responsible, though reluctantly. So reluctant. Good morning, Hugo. Who scowls, turns away from him, then gathers the files and shoves it back to the binder. Meanwhile, the tall man takes this as an initiative and sits at the opposite end of the booth. Greets the waitress passing by and orders himself the hefty body breakfast special with an extra. As usual, the waitress is happy to oblige. Goes back to the counter to relax. The man then looks back at Hugo. He sees the empty cup and the now jumbled newspaper clip. All the while, Hugo is trying to ignore. You really should eat something with that black coffee. Not ordering any donuts today? Hugo? I'm fine, Noah. Okay, it's Noah. I'm just not in the mood today, okay? I'm just not in the mood, okay? Why am I making up words? Not even a little? There is a momentary silence between them before Noah serves it once more. Well, too bad for you. They ordered a big breakfast for the two of us. Two? As if the world could grace Noah with an even more perfect punchline, the food arrives. Why the heck you order for the two? Eat what you want to eat. Don't worry about me. Wow, this looks so delicious. Right, Hugo? You even listening to me? Come on, we both know that if you don't eat now, who knows when. And I'm not about to let you faint again. So open wide. Noah De Leon, age 27, natural born charm, just as equally persuasive as he is threatening. The pensive look, Hugo finally gives in and eats the generous spoonful without further complaint. Right? Always help. That's swept away again. Oh, by the way, if we out for a business trip, did it for a couple. You mentioned it will be for a couple of days. When did she tell you this? I didn't hear anything about it. Yesterday, I think. Yesterday? Told me to sort out the cabinets yesterday. They didn't mention anything about a business trip. Yes, it was a pretty sudden one. Yes, it was a pretty sudden one. I mean, you did tell me to tell you. Lucky me. I know where you go every morning. You know what? I'm not surprised. Well, what do you want to do? We technically have the day off. You can head back to the office. A couple of boxes they didn't get the chance to solve. In that case, I'll come with you. Why? You just rest for You just rest for the day. As up an opportunity, this opportunity to get to know you better. With it, for their enlightening banter, two of them finish their breakfast, pay for their meals, and head to you. Noah opens the door to the passenger seat. He notices the blue bloodhound. Big dog stares at the sound of the car opening and lazily stares at Noah. Noah, this is the name. I'll try to remember. Then closes the door while trying not to make too much noise to disturb its occupant. Colby. This is Hugo. This is. Wait, who is this again? This is Hugo. This is. Wait. Wait. Can remember. Can do this. It's. Go. This is. So the dog's name is Colby. This again? I can't remember. Sound of his heavily lidded eyes slowly peek. Aww. It is his one and only partner, his human. Oh, so this is. Wait again. Hugo's dog. The dog's name is Colby. Name is I don't know. If after, as if finally realizing who he is, or where he is, the old bloodhound stares up from his sleep, pounces at Hugo, and proceeds to wag his tail uncontrollably. Bark. Morning again, Colby. Had a nice nap. Colby. Hugo's most faithful and loving partner in crime. Has the biggest tendency to just sleep all over the place. Noah, who is witnessing all of this from the backseat, chuckles to himself. He is amazed and slightly defeated at Hugo's sudden surge of energy. Doesn't matter how many times I try, when it comes to boosting up his mood, no one can. Wait, this is Noah. So this is Noah. This is Noah. This is Colby. This is uh uh I know who it is. I know who. Hmm. Wait. This is. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so bad at remembering names. This is. Wait, who is this again? Noah. This is Noah. Colby. This is Hugo. It's Hugo. Yes. I know. I remember. We headed back to the office. It's just the same as Hugo left it. An organized mess. To his credit, for the amount of boxes he painstakingly went through, he believes he did a fair job. We see here. It could have been better. Wow! Really outdid yourself, Hugo. Looks less crap. Got it, will you? Said I was gonna get to it. Thanks, boy. Or Hugo could continue to give deserved head pats. He notices a woman stands timidly, being The woman appears to be frantic, shriveled, and wearing ill clothes. She appears to be distressed about when she finally makes eye contact. She says, I, I'm so sorry. The claws ghosts. So you come in? Are you alright, miss? Your help. Grandfather. Before she can continue, no, intervene. It's okay. Hear what you have to please. No gestures, but then one hesitates for a moment before then walks towards the start. Can you start off by telling sorry for my name is Nina Mortimer. I don't know. Help over my grandfather tonight. My grandfather has Alzheimer's. Watching over your grandfather? Sorry, Miss Mortimer. I don't quite understand. He in danger? Yes. Water ghost is trying to kill. I'm afraid he is. Mortimer, if that is the case, wouldn't contacting the police would be better? No. I tried requesting their help, but they all gave me the same answer. There's nothing they can do about it. If only I knew who Louis or Louis was. This enough with just at the name for reaching out from her bag for an antique letter. Grandfather received cryptic message the other day. It didn't come with an address or the name of the sender. However, the only thing I did pick up was the name. Hands over the letter. Hugo notices her hand slightly. Whatever lies in this note must have shaken her this badly. Delicately, Hugo removes the content of the envelope and then first glance it seems like any normal written message. Person named Louis, the other, Henry. Come meet him by the lake at Henry. Needing to share something important with him. However, what's eerily striking about this letter is not the message itself. Rather, at the bottom of the page, a sentence far more disturbing is written for you. Is the grandfather? Where were there any other letters with the name of the girl again? God, I don't know. Yes, a few of them. Thought it was stick joke at first, but one this one was different. But till now, I've heard of anyone by that name. Not a relative or family friend. They clearly know who my grandfather is. If I didn't do any, if I don't do something about this, I lose. Just by uttering the words alone, Nina breaks down, hiding away her tear-streaked face, begins to quietly sob to herself. An act of comfort, Colby sits closely to Nina while Noah fetches Hugo on the other end, puzzled. Ah? Very well have been a prank. Certain that whoever and or whatever Louis this person is. You want more tissues? Want more tea? I'll do it. Take on your case. I'll do it. I'll take on your. For a moment, silence fills the room. Ears are directed at Hugo. Now finally stands up and walks toward. You'll you'll take it? Thank you. Thank you. Don't know how much this means to me. We're glad to help Miss Nina. It's fine. Well, Nina, we'll do our best. Nina slightly smiles at Hugo before reaching into her bag once more and taking out a note. 4976 Church Street. This is my address. I'll be sure to greet you once when you get there, detective. There no music. What music? She politely bows once more before heading to her car and drives back home. Once out of sight, Hugo turns to look at his cluttered desk. Still messy. Guess I'll have to sort these out then. From the ongoing downpour, from the ongoing downpour to the quiet hums of the car, they sit silent. Still miles off from their destination, Hugo constantly checks the rear view mirror. Noah, who usually shuts his ear off by now, sits completely still. He looks out to the passing streetlights, observed and hey, you're a light quieter than you. You're, 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 you're like a lot, you're a lot quieter than you. Wrong. Surprise. Have you been looking at me though? No, you just talk a lot. That's all. So, miss me talking a lot? Just say. I didn't want to offend Nina earlier, so I kept quiet and finished. But it's her last name, of course. Have you heard about the Mortimers or Mortimers? They're a pretty distinguished family. Well, they used to be. What do you mean? They've been struck with so many tragedies. Over time, people began to believe they were cursed or something. Every other year, I would see a headline on the local news about one of the family members' deaths. And you know what's strange? All of them have been labeled as accidents. Every other year, I would see a headline on the local about one of the family members' death, and you know what's strange? No foul play or no foul play, no nothing. Another unfortunate event for the family. I understand why she would go to the police. She probably thought they'd perceive paranoid or hysterical. Or worse, can imagine all of this for nothing, huh? Most of all, wait, there are autos. Have to save? Wow. Thank goodness I checked. Most of all, who knows what we'll find there? That why you decided to come with me? Well, partially. I'm more worried about. Think of it this way. I'm the appointed driver. When you decide to do some pretty reckless stuff, I'll be there to drive you to the local hospital. Ugh. Besides, two are better than one. Exactly. I was fine with Colby coming with me. Well, Have you heard that three is better than two? Uh, Passing through countless dirt roads and steep. There's still rain. I like this. Passing through countless dirt roads and this state reveals itself beyond the earth. Nestled and tucked away from prying eyes, it all stands looming from a distance. Hugo and Noah could only gaze at the sheer scale of the manor as they parked adjacent to Nina's car. Wow, to think she came all this way just to request us? Took us more than a couple of hours to get here. Maybe she didn't really have a choice. What do you mean? Come on, she's waiting for us. Immediately after exiting driver's seat. That's good. Immediately after exiting the driver's seat, sudden sharp pain weighs heavily on Hugo's chest. Grasping tightly at his coat, he begins to gasp for air. Case Cases as he leans close to the car, like a fish drawn out from sea. Just going on. The way I like the animation. Interesting. Well made. Can't believe it's maybe it's just first chapters have to buy. But besides that, I like this. So the music, it's so good. Sound design. But this ache he harbors feels in comparison to a pain far more excruciating. Like the house? No, something far more sinister. Is this paranormal stuff? I don't know. Feels it. Someone's watching him. Well, maybe not. A piercing gaze fixed on him. Like leering at a bug. What the? I need to hurry or else. Hey, are you alright? Are you alright? Noah calls out to him, snapping him out of his fixated, fixated, fixated trance. Colby nudges his head against Hugh, whining with concerns over his partner's well-being. Did, did you hear that just now? Hear what? That voice was so close to my ear. Is everything alright? Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me. A bit winded out on the trip. That's all. I'd be happy to make you a coffee at very least. It's no trouble. No, not at all. The least I can do. Once again, the subtle uneasiness from the surfaces. Before Hugo could get a chance to look further into this, he walked off towards the front porch without saying another word. Are you sure you're alright? Sounded like you were choking earlier. Said I'm fine. Besides, already here. We can't back out now. Listen to me. I think you should. Noah abrupts, cuts, abruptly cuts lecture short as he notices Nina stopping by the front door. She stands there silently, as if contemplating something. I know this may sound rude, but I didn't get a chance to know your names. Well, you were pretty out of it when you walked in. Really sorry about that. No worries. This is Detective Hugo Laurent. This is his assistant Colby. I'm his second assistant, Noah De Leon. Ah, it seems so surreal. like a just like a cartoon. Ha ha ha. Ina meekly smiles before turning away from them. Haven't been quite honest with you, Detective Laurent. Like before, as if carefully choosing her next words, she decides that in this situation, words are not enough. You'll see for yourself what I mean. And with that, Ina enters the house, leaving the three to follow behind. Hugo is about to enter through the foyer when he feels a tug in his arm. Don't forget what I told you. If something happens, let me know right away. You'll be the first to know. And with that, Noah releases his grip on Hugo. They proceeded to head in, knowing what awaits them beyond the door. Greeted with a brightly lit hallway, Hugo notes that the interior is just as grand, adorned with floral accents and antique paintings that exudes an elegant charm found only in a resplendent house such as. However, Hugo notices something even more distant than this. This house is much more terrifying inside than out. Bracing themselves, bracing themselves, they enter the drawing room. Bracing themselves, they enter the dimly lit drawing room. First glance, Hugo could not. However, closer inspection now understands the reason all of us unsettling. Grandfather, sitting on the armchair is a young man. He's dressed in a white collared down dress shirt, tucked in black pants. The grandfather's, huh? Staring only at the window there, dazed and still with all. In Grandpa, these are the people I spoke of. Detective Laurent and his two assistants, Colby and Noah. They're going to help us. Even after introducing them to the head of the Mortimer estate, Hugo and Noah could not help but feel unnerved. The man before them is supposed to be frail and older than, yet here he remains forever unchanged. They've come all they've come a long way, so I'll be big. You like some grandpa? The young man still this only fixed on the rain. I'll be sure to make a cup for you too. He then timidly gestures to you when Noah back to the foyer. Hearing more questions, you follow Nina outside. Before they leave, there is an all air about him. They're similar to his whatever he must be longing for. Hugo knows it will not end. Yeah, that man. Yes, grandfather. When I ask you all to watch. I know this is hard to believe. Natural something. This big picture of a young man with thick back hair, curious. He appears to be poised and it contrasts to the current Henry Mortimer. This isn't much to go by, but I swear he is. Why does he look so young? Happened a few nights ago. I was on my way to get a cup of tea when I heard a loud thud coming from my grandfather's home room. I was worried that something fell over, so I went to go check. I opened the door, found him collapsed on the ground. I rushed to help him, but when I did, he looked so different. So many things were rushing to my head, and yet felt so familiar to me. Wore the same clothes that my grandpa wore last night. His face, I recognized his face. Just looked younger. That was also the same night I found the letter next to him. I'm sorry again for all of this. No matter who I went to, they either said something was wrong with me or my family. With everything going on, maybe they're right. The water, dripping sounds, the letter, and now this. Maybe my family is really cursed. They're not. Curses aren't curses aren't real. Detective? Think easily get too involved in believing that sort of thing exists. In reality, those who fixate on it feeds off of it. Rumors, doubts, lies, all of those things are what they want to become real. Deep-rooted emotions like that can't possibly be healed or fixed right away. But like a curse, those emotions drag other people down with them. Ah, personally, I think you were caught up in all of this. But I assure you, we'll see this through for you and your grandfather. Good. Now, our first priority to find out more about Luke. Lina, the letter you showed us back at the have it with you. Ah yes, it's you mind if I borrow it for a bit? I'll make sure to give it back. Of course. Pick upstairs, Noah. You and Colby check the ground floor. Before they leave to do their own investigation, Hugo grabs a hold of Noah's shoulder. Enough. Keep a closer. Okay, counting on you. Two boy. With that, Hugo heads upstairs, starting his investigation. Silver Estate. They're searching vigorously the rooms. He knew his findings would eventually lead to a shortcut. Their auto. Is it? Hugo walks towards the nearest lampshade and opens it. Dimly illuminated, he sees the extent how lavish this part of the house is. From the customized drapes to the vintage furniture, everything here exudes that extravagance. But much like the interior Hugo has seen so far, he finds this one in particular reeks of it. Plastered from wall to wall, a sense of gloom lingers. It's as if the room itself is moldering, despite its preserved nature. Need to hurry. Want to stay here for too long. Mortimer Estate, 11:50. Searches and searches. Still no sign of anything. Not one thing pertaining to Louis. Nothing. It's as if he cleared out everything. Just blank everywhere. No, it has to be. Just missing something. He ponders again before remembering the letter. This is the only proof Louis so far. I'll try to read it again. Maybe I overlooked it. As he takes the letter out from the envelope, he notices the check within. Bearing no foreboding threat at the bottom of the page, it just looks like a regular letter. What the? If you can't come, then I understand. Very. But if I can ask one last favor of you, my locket? I know this is selfish, but I'd like for you to have it. Be happy knowing it's with you for everything. Ever yours. Okay, Chris was the sender of the letter. Henry's grandfather. The same Louis? But he was the cause all of this. I That warning, a sound of click can be heard across the bedroom. Lost. I need to backtrack. Sent the letter. Louis? Louis? Yes. Sent a letter, some about I don't remember. If something unlocked itself. Hugo turns around and sees at the foot of the bed at the chest. Unlike other furniture, dark and rustic features have not been maintained well. Left to rot on its preparing himself, he opens the chest. Signs scrambled together are bunches of notebooks and small trinkets. Hugo continues to rummage through when he stumbles across an old newspaper article. Young man found dead by the lake. Unidentified, an, ununde- an, un, an unidentified young man was found on the morning of 3 days prior to his death, according to the police. Ruled out as a suicide, police have claimed that the troubled youth drowned himself. This certainly is a tragic loss, an unfortunate event in comments. No claim of his body has been made yet. By the corner of Hugo's eyes, he spots a bright glint buried beneath the clutter. Is for it. A locket of brilliant gold shines unblemished, staining a timeless luster. Beside it safeguards a picture of a young man with glasses smiling brightly. This must be the locket that he was talking about. So, I'm surprised it still shines like this. Picture. Did he put it here? No, it might be have been. But why? Why would he store it away like this? What should I do? Okay, this time we have this. So there's choices in this game? My gosh. I think we should take the locket. Hugo is about to what? About to put everything back into wet and rolling up. Ah, ah, water? Full of water relentlessly spread across the already seeping into his chest. No! Suddenly the lights shut off. A scream is heard followed by a myriad of Hugo is about to call out Noah but the s- but stops at the sight of pale feet before him. That stands a tall and ominous figure. Face is shrouded in darkness devoid any human emotions. It appears as a young man, but Hugo knows that it is far from it. I'm trying to get a closer look. I don't understand what I'm seeing. This feet too dark. No, this very thing is trying to imitate a human form, trying to be human. Hugo could only stare back. Paralyzed with fear, he is forced to watch the horror as it slowly, just like before. Sensation, someone staring at him within. But this time it's drawing nearer. Hope there's no jump scare. I think I made the wrong choice. I should have not taken the locket. Being ever so close. The words call out to Colby Noah. Colby or Noah failed to reach out. Touched in his throat, he struggles in pain. Oh no. With his breathing alone, he tries to force his body to move. Thought you filled with nothing but malice and don't get in my way. I managed to read that. I managed to read that. All of a sudden, the door to the bedroom slammed shut. Tension from his body finally realized agonizing grip. Gasped desperately for air. Vision blurred, breathing jagged, staggered towards the door. Yanks at the handle several times, but it's tightly jammed. Noah! Colby! To his dismay, he's only greeted with silence at the other end of the door. From a distance, he faintly hears the sounds of Colby relentlessly barking as it gets further away from the house. Hugo rushes towards the window. He tries to pry it open, but just like the door, a heavy force prevents him from doing so. Oh no, we get the bad ending. Frantically looking around the room, he spots a nearby chair. Not a moment sooner, he grabs a chair and starts to strike the window, but bit by bit the window cracks get larger with each blow, splitting off smaller pieces. What the heck is this thing made out of? Still trying to catch his breath, he musters all his strength he has left for a final blow. Just break already. Clearing out the remaining glass shards, Hugo peers his head out to see any railing he can grab hold of. However, he discovers instead that the wall adjacent to the is covered in ivy. Wow, bad. How unlucky. Despite how heavy the rain has drastically become, he reaches out for it, grabbing a handful of the vines. No, I don't think you should do that. Carefully, he climbs out the window, gripping tightly, making sure he doesn't lose his footing. Yet to his luck, the patch of vines he clutches start to tear away from the wall. Out of desperation, he struggles to find his grip on another, but fails when his hand slips out of reach. Ouch. Clamoring wildly as he loses grip on the ivy, he lands down onto a thicket of bushes. Air forced out of him. Heaves uncontrollably, trying to even out his breathing. But even that is laborious. An immense pain spreads across not only his back but his entire body. Then he dies. Getting too old for this. Although his body screams out in pain, he forces himself up. There's still time. I can do this. I have to do this. With staggering feet and haggard breathing, he makes his way to the place where it all started. To the lake, where this tragedy starts and ends. Mortimer Estate, 12 a.m. Finally entering through the park, Hugo calls out to Colby and Noah. Colby! Noah, where are you? Hears faintly the sounds of barking and echoes of people yelling in the distance. He rushes towards the echoes, guiding him through the downpour. With his heart racing and blood rushing to his head, he finds his way to the lake. Drawing closer, he sees Tina giving chase to her grandfather. Unfortunately, she didn't get too far as Noah stops her. Grandpa, stop, Grandpa. Let me go, my grandpa, he's... Tina, please, it's dangerous. You'll get hurt too. I don't care. I don't want to lose anyone anymore. It's at that instant Hugo trudges against the water, pursuing Nina instead. Hugo? No, don't. Please falls deaf to his ears. Not even the whines and worried cries of his partner could make him turn back. Determined, he trudges further in. Nearing the deep end, is Henry Mortimer gazing directly at the abyss. He looks even more frail and disheveled, as if all the life had been drained from him, surrendering it all to the lake. Before Henry could lead in, Hugo reaches out and tugs at his arm. Mr. Mortimer, listen to me. Nothing is waiting for you down there, so please come back to the shore with me. And motionless and unresponsive, he still stares deeply into the water. There are so many things we cannot afford to lose in our lives, and you're one of them. To Nina, you're all she has left. Needs you, Mr. Mortimer. Hugo felt it. Slight jolt from Henry's arm, as if scared by the mention of Nina. He slowly turns to face Hugo. Yeah. However, just as cruel and violent as the storm, Henry jerks back. Wrenching his arm away from Hugo, hold on him. All of this is my fault. Only, if only I got to Louis sooner, then none of this would have happened. Henry inches even closer to the edge. Louis, sorry. Should have what? Gone to, gone in his gone with him? You know that wouldn't resolve anything. Not for you or Louis. I read what he wrote to you those years ago. He understood if you didn't want to come see him. But the thing is, Mr. Mortimer, Louis never thought of anything less of you. The locket is proof of that. Louis' locket. Yes, it's the symbol of his love for you. That's why you don't have to shoulder all of that pain by yourself anymore. You can talk about it. About you and Louis. All of it. Together. Hugo extends not only his hand to him, but a promise. A promise that Henry had yearned for so long. A way to forgive him. He hesitates at what fool believes in a deserved forgiveness. Such a thing doesn't exist. Yet, despite everything, Hugo still reaches out to him. A stranger. Maybe can be forgiven. Just as he was about to reach for Hugo, hand slithers around Henry's head. Arms unnaturally contort around him, while its head perches on his shoulder. This thing, this Louis, no, no longer pretending to be human. With piercing cold green eyes, it stared directly at Hugo, mocking him, cursing, wishing nothing but despair, and be saved, and be forgiven. There is only one true way out of this. share it with the most. Before Hugo could reach out for Henry's hand, he disappears into the water. Mr. Mortimer! Without hearing the anguished cries and desperate pleas, who dives after him to the abyss. Plunging into the icy waters, Hugo feels shocks running rampant throughout his body, like spikes continuously from his legs to the tips of his fingers, fiercely and uneven. His chest tightens as his heart races as he begins to legs, hoping whichever way he goes, he'll find his way to Henry. Swimming deeper and deeper in, faintly a figure slowly descending into the madness, to the darkness. As he finally gets closer to Henry, long snake-like arms stretch across the void and grab Hugo's neck, violently squeezing all the air out from him. Tries desperately to wrench its hands away, but with each struggle, Hugo's movements begin to weigh heavier and heavier. Where are you, Lewis? Digging deep into his coat's pocket, he grasps tightly in his hand the locket that Henry kept and had long forgotten, holding it out as it shines ever so brightly in the dark. There you are. Releases its grip on Hugo and instead reaches out for the locket. Taking this as a chance, he drops the chain and with all his might to grab Henry's arm. With his heart burning and his body screaming, he swims desperately to the surface. Almost there, just have to. As the light from the surface began to blur, Hugo makes one last attempt to reach for it. With his limbs worn out and his energy spent, this is all he could do. Before he loses his consciousness, he notices a figure swimming towards them, getting closer and closer, and then everything fades to black. Drifting along what feels like an endless, Hugo curses, forces through wave after wave, not knowing where he's going or caring for that matter. All he knows is that very how long has it been since he had good night's rest? Ah, that rest. That you this. Sorry for stopping. Just want to see you before I go. You've done so much for me, and far from the distance, a voice cries out to him, beckoning for him to come back. Well, I guess this is it. Take care, Hugo. His eyes close, senses will return. Feels the constant tugs, certain bloodhound, whining, tries to wake up his Hugo. He also hears another familiar voice, annoyingly close. Hello? Wait, I can't be heard? Well, well, I think my audio might have been cut off in talking quietly. Eyes shot right open, he jerks up. Confused, Hugo looks around before coughs up the remaining water in his lungs. You alright? Noah starts to pat his back while Colby continues to whine over Hugo. What? What happened? Where's Mr. Mortimer? He's safe. So is Tina. They're both okay. The police and the ambulance should be arriving soon. Goodness. Isn't there more you have to say to me? Instead of thank goodness? I swear you don't listen to a damn word I say. Dot. Sorry, Noah. Exhausted, he lets out a He then continues to pat Hugo back aggressively. Hugo's back aggressively. When someone approaches Detective Laurent? Oh, Nina. Someone I want you to meet. Behind her stands an elderly man. Like, this might be Henry. Frail in stature, he timidly looks to the side pensively as he ponders to him. Though his youth has long faded, his eyes are what catches Hugo's attention. They're no longer piercing and vicious. The eyes just. Hello, Mr. Mortimer. Detective. I never got a chance to say goodbye to him. I always thought about it every day. What if Louis lived on? What if he stayed a little longer with? It's because of that constant mindset I dragged everyone down. I kept hurting, not only me, but Nina especially. I was the one who kept hurting her. The one to blame for all of this. But you, someone I've never even met, still went out of your way to save me, not knowing my burdens or my faults. Thank you. Hugo reaches out to Henry, smiles brightly at him. It's my pleasure, sir. But before he lets go, Henry tugs at Hugo's hands once. Hope that someday, you two will overcome it. Well, good morning, Hugo. There's, there's a mystery behind Hugo as well, and we just don't know it. How long is this game? Oh, sorry, I'm just eating. You're bright and early. Morning. With much fervor and haste, Hugo resumes writing on his notepad. Although, by closer inspection, he looks like he's going to combust any minute. Are you writing up the report? Without looking up, Hugo responds back. Yeah, for the most part. Still need to write yours too. I will, but since I haven't had breakfast yet, and I don't like eating by myself, yum, I'm also eating. What a coincidence. Let me guess. Two is better than one. Bingo. Wow, you go. You're really catching on. I'm so proud of you. Charlotte, will you? Where if only I hadn't fallen off goddamn window, maybe my report would have been shorter. Where Noah could begin to cut the bacon, he pauses at the mention of Hugo's report. But yeah, by the way, are you telling me what happened to your Mortimer's window? Um, I broke it. Well, that's obvious to me. What I don't understand is why it's broken. Do you know how much it costs to repair a window like that? I know. It was really dumb of me. I'm sorry. Besides, I told Mr. Mortimer about it before we left. Honestly, I was expecting an earful from him. Although, and also the bill. Oh? Surprisingly enough, he said it was okay. So what? You just call it a day after all that? Thank you so much, Mr. Mortimer. You broke it, you pay for it. Would you chill? Of course I'll pay for it. This time I keep insisting, he just shrugged it off. Said that we already went through a lot for them, so this was nothing but confessing. So this was nothing in comparison. Ah, you know what? He's right. For all that we went through, I deserve at least. You go puts down a pen and head for the couch. Go puts down his pen and proceeds to head for the couch. Colby follows after him. Wait, what about the breakfast? I'll eat it later. It's nap time now. Heavily sighing, Noah sets aside the food on his desk and joined the other two at the couch. I'm getting old. Oh. I mean, you are old. Got it. Colby whines, asking for head scratches. Sorry boy. Hugo scratches the back of Colby's ears as he leans closer to Noah. You know, I'm glad that you came along yesterday. Oh, what's this? Are you getting chummy with me now? Call it chummy or whatever, but I really mean it. You hadn't saved us back there. Look, I told you before. I'll be there whenever you get yourself into a wreck with stuff. Besides, didn't you say this was nap time? Get some rest. You deserve it. Calming silence fills the room as the three fell deeper into no big parties or celebrations, just Taylor's comfort, sharing this small but rewarding a good end. Thank you for playing. Wow, nice game. was a nice game. I don't know if I want to try the other ending. I don't know how. There's only like one choice to from that game. Wait, how many choices did I? I'm not sure. I like this game. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. We have another game. I might check this one out next time. Guess that's it for this. Thank you so much for coming, Nicola. Yeah, I really like the game. Fun. Bye.